What does he about on the head?
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. It's your boy ACS, and we got a packed show today. Obviously, Braves finally get them dubs, right? Finally got in the win column. The Hawks continue to flip-flop like they always do. The Masters have started. They got a couple cool things from that I want to talk to y'all about when it comes to the Masters. I ain't the biggest golf fan, but I do tend to watch the Masters on a yearly basis. Got a couple other things to talk about too, some Georgia Tech news out there and things of that nature. But real quick, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, jumping straight into the Atlanta United. Also, my thoughts on our two national champions when it comes to college basketball. All right, so be back in just a second. You're watching Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back, Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. It's your boy ACS. Let's get into it. Like I said, a lot to talk about today. Obviously, I told you I'm gonna start using background music, man. I kind of like the background music, y'all. Tell me what you think about background music. Kind of enjoy it myself. Real quick, as we start the show off, I do want to have a couple shout outs real quick for some people who left us this past week. Obviously, if you're anything paying attention to anything sports wise or just human wise, in the Dominican Republic, they had like this accident at this nightclub where like the roof collapsed and like a whole bunch of people lost their lives and things of that nature. Shouts out to all of those people. Thoughts and prayers, and also a former Braves pitcher, Octavio Dotel, was one of the people who lost their lives tragically in this accident. So shouts out Octavio Dotel and to everybody else, thoughts and prayers for what happened down there. All I saw was like this little clip of like the after damage. I was like, yo, that shit looks crazy, man. Looks crazy. So yeah, shouts out. Also, University of Georgia, man. Georgia Athletics mourns sudden death of longtime staff member Mike Bilbo, 56 years old. Mike Bilbo, the assistant athletic director of digital and production for Georgia Athletics, died suddenly on April 6th at the age of 56. Bilbo's death has sent shockwaves through the Georgia community, where he was widely respected for his work in shaping the Bulldogs' digital presence. Bilbo oversaw video board production, television production, social media, and web content for Georgia Athletics. I'm sure, as a person who follows like all of that kind of social media when it comes to Georgia, I'm sure I've seen some of this man's work for sure. His work enhanced the game day experience at Sanford Stadium and brought the Bulldog stories to life across digital platforms. He played a pivotal role in creating the content that connected fans with the team. So once again, shout out Mike Bilbo. Died too young, 56, man. That's not too far from where I am. It's honestly kind of scary. But anyway, shouts out, man. I don't like to start the show off with sort of this little sadness of news or whatever, but I did want to make sure that I gave them their just due when it comes to what they represent and meant to sports in this state, which is what I talk about every Wednesday at 7:00 p.m. So anyway, let's jump in. Also this week, real quick, I did want to shout out to the national champs, right? The University of Florida, the UConn Huskies both won national titles in the men's and women's national championship, respectively. And good on them, man. Congrats, y'all. Congrats. Teams played well all season. I know somebody was like, yo, there was this meme I saw, and I should have saved it, where it was like, it had a picture of a dude, and he's like, the guy was an SEC fan. No, it was Leonardo DiCaprio, like one of those memes where he was an SEC fan, and they were like, oh, so your team plays in SEC, so of course you're cheering for it. And he didn't. He had a Houston hat on and not a Florida hat. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, that ain't the way when I do it. I cannot stand Florida. I am a Georgia fan for life, and I will not root for the Florida Gators. But I was on Monday. That's a guarantee. I'm gonna tell you something about the SEC, man. SEC receives a lot of hate. They at first it was the dominance in football, and then it sort of stretched all across college sports, where it's like baseball, volleyball, gymnastics, baseball. Like it's SEC strong, man. And look, I'm glad that I'm a fan of it. I can understand some of the hate from the outside. I'm sure people, anytime SEC loses anything, I get flooded with, SEC. Like I can guarantee you there were so many people who had that tweet ready to send if Houston had a one of the SEC broke the record for most teams in the tournament and didn't even win. I can't even tell you how many people could not wait to tweet that out right there. But we did. SEC won. I mean, it was Florida. I give them that. Congrats. But it was the SEC. So as a fan of the SEC, I'm happy to say that. I like to see the And look, man, the conference is dominant, dude. Like I know there's ways you can like dislike that and sort of say, hey, good on y'all, and then move on about your business. But most people don't. Like when SEC loses anything, especially like the national title game, we didn't even have a representative in that thing, right? And we got clowned off for it. All them teams SEC had in the thing, and y'all didn't even do. Anyway, I'm an SEC fan, and I will probably be that for life. So I was at a sideway rooting for Florida to win the national title, just to, because I'm gonna be honest with you. You get that many teams in the tournament and not one of them can seal the deal. That is, there's some embarrassment there for the conference. So I'm good to see at least one SEC team hoist the trophy, and then UConn. I mean, I don't know what else you can say about that. Oriama, coaching legend. He had Paige Buckets, who I honestly, in the Final Four and the national title game, didn't really put up a lot of points. It was her cohorts, but shouts out to them too, man. I think Paige is going to be different when she hits the WNBA. I know that's what Caitlin Clark was at last year, and then that whole nice class of players that got to the pros last year. Gonna have one this year on y'all. Probably gonna be the #1 draft pick. I'm pretty sure that is a guarantee. And so shouts out UConn and Florida, man, winning some natties for your teams, right? So there's that. Right. Anyway, this week is Masters Week, like I mentioned at the top of the show. And I just saw something, y'all. So y'all know I always talk about on here how I miss news throughout the day because I work third shift. So I'm like pretty much sleep until about an hour before this show sort of starts. And right, because I'm starting to sound like I'm good. Anyway, and so like when I get up, there's like a flood of like stuff that I like try to look at real quick to make sure when I do the show that I'm up to date, right, with stuff that's sort of taking place. And man, I saw this, and it's wait, hold up. All right. So this is Rory McIlroy and his father. As you know, on the Wednesday before the Masters start on Thursday, like they have all of these events. And some of these, like you can play around with your family and things of that nature. And it's Rory McIlroy and his pops and his daughter. I'm gonna bring this up real quick. I thought this was so. If you guys are listening and not watching, I'm trying to describe what it is. But his daughter, I mean, she looks like she can be no more than about 4 or 5 years old. Hits this long putt. And dude, it goes in, bro. it goes in. I'm gonna keep the sound away just because this is not my stuff. But so real quick, just watch this. As you can see right there, there's the ball. It's kind of hard to see off rip, but she has like this weird putt. But she's learning, and I'm sure she'll learn a lot more from her pops. But I thought this was absolutely incredible to wake up and see. So here we go. So she hits this putt, and I mean, look, it's going. It's going. Obviously, you can't see it. Look how slow it's going, man. This is the cutest thing in the world. Look at it. So if you're not watching, this putt is taking 17 years, but it's online. It's online. Dog. Look. The pops is he's crunk. Look at that. Hey. What an incredible moment to spend. Maybe that might jumpstart Rory, man. Maybe he might come screaming through the Masters this year and get that trophy, right? Finally. But no, I just thought that was great, man. I thought that was a great moment. In this week, and sort of, I always thought Wednesday before the Masters was a great thing. It's always a cool thing because the way that you get to do with your family and sort of the way that they get to interact with the course in ways that they normally would not, do once the tournament starts. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was cool. Also, a couple things I wanted to bring up. I thought this was also. Let me see something. This was also, it says 15 things the Masters champion gets. Obviously, they get the green jacket. They get an engraving on the Masters trophy. They get a replica of the trophy that's roughly less than half the size. I didn't know that shit. That's cool. They get like this little bitty Masters trophy. Matter of fact, I'll bring this up. Does everybody see this? It's pretty cool. I just thought this would be something cool to bring up here because since it is Masters Week, but that's the little bitty trophy they get, which is cool. So like I said, they get the jacket, they get their name engraved on the trophy, which is not the actual trophy. The trophy stays at Augusta year round. So replica of the trophy, they get this little coin, a gold medal or whatever. They get a gold locket. I think it was intended to go to the wife of the Masters champion. Invitation to the champions dinner, honorary membership to Augusta. I know you've heard that before. If you're any kind of golf fan, like you win the Masters, you're automatically invited back to that contest every season. A locker in the champions locker room. A lot of people have to share them, which is crazy. Champions only range. They got this little range out there where it's private. Nobody's watching you and stuff. Lifetime invitation to the Masters. A lot of points. As you can see, Tiger right there. $3.6 million. The winner gets 5-year major exemption. You're automatically invited to all majors for 5 years. 5-year PGA Tour exemption and a special tee time. A lot of greatness at Augusta. So that's cool. I just thought that was a cool thing to bring up, considering it is Masters Week. And, Masters is a big deal in Georgia, man. It's a big deal in pretty much all the sports, but in Georgia, it's pretty big. So without that, let's jump on. Let's move on. Let's get down to some Atlanta United, y'all. Atlanta United. Oh, man. What we going to do about this United, y'all? What we going to do about it, man? They last week I was excited, finally got their second dub of the season, in the record. So right now 2-3-2. Another tie this past Saturday against Dallas. So tough season thus far for the United, man. Tough season. Again, 1-1 tie with Dallas on Saturday. This Saturday coming up, they got the New England Revolution at 2:15, sort of an earlier time than what they normally been starting the games or whatever. Like I said, let's check the power rankings every week on the MLS to see where Atlanta is. Obviously, we had jumped up a couple spots in the past 2 weeks with some ties and some dubs, but we got another tie. So let's see if we fallen. Nope, we stay at 14. Atlanta United is still 14, while a 1-1 home draw with FC Dallas may not get the alarm bells ringing in Georgia's capital. A deeper look might. The team struggled for creativity and needs one of its big money players, Almiron, Latte Lot, Klitsch, Alex Marinchuk, to start proving they're genuine difference makers. That's right, man. We're going to need some of these players that they signed this year for a lot of money, right? A lot of money. Latte Lot especially. Y'all going to have to start playing getting some explosive play out there, man. We need it. This is not the way we wanted to start the season. Obviously, there's still plenty more months left here. But yeah, we're going to need y'all to pick that up. The same way when I talk about the Braves, I was saying the same thing last week. Man, I mean, look, man, it's crazy. It's crazy to see sort of start the season like we did with the 3-2 dub over Montreal, and then look, it's 2-0 or 2-0 loss. 0-0 tie to the Red Bulls, 2-1 loss to Miami, 2-2 tie to Cincinnati. Then we beat New York City, but then another tie to Dallas. And we'll see what happens Saturday against New England, man. We'll see what happens. Like I said, we need to pick this thing up. This thing needs to get moving, man. Man, let's see. Go to the game. See right here what they had here. Almiron with the goal in that one. Let's see, last 5 games. Oh, okay. This is a whole bunch of different stuff. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So Atlanta United, right now, like I said, record is 2-3-2. Put the ties right there in the middle. 3 ties, 2 dubs. Not looking good, man. As far as the MLS standings, I think we're down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 10th in the MLS standings, which is not where you want to be at. But like I said, it's still early in the season, so we just gonna have to wait and see, man. We are just going to have to wait and see. And with that, y'all, let's move on over to some Atlanta Falcons news. Talk about the NFL in general, but we want some Falcons stuff right here. Got a couple things. Let me get this stuff pulled up real quick. Some off-season stuff, some OTA scheduling for all the teams right now in the NFL. And let's see, Atlanta Falcons, the draft picks. We're gonna take a look at that. But we have to start off the conversation when it comes to the Falcons by shouting out one of the GOATs, man. Shouts out to one of the GOATs, y'all. Shouts out to Julio Jones, who announced his retirement last week from the NFL. Obviously, there's a lot of people who, I thought Julio Jones been retired. Some of the players, right, they get on, because obviously he's played for the Titans and things of that nature. So they don't sort of get picked up by a team and they spend maybe a season off while they mull whether or not they want to retire, or if they want to keep trying to go at this thing, keep trying to get signed by teams or whatever. And I think when it comes to that, hey, what's up, Terry, man? I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you stopping through. When it comes to that, and then finally, they make that decision. They say, you know what? None of the teams came a calling. I kind of, the rigorous offseason stuff that I put my body through, I kind of not feeling it no more. And he didn't get the ultimate. He didn't get to the top. He got to the big game. Now he got to the right at the almost very top of the NFL world. And we all know what happened with that, the 28-3 thing with the New England Patriots. So, so he almost made it. He didn't, so he retires without that crown, but I think he does wear a crown. King of Atlanta Falcons. When it comes to any kind of receiving records, we're going to take a look at those in just a second. But, yeah, man, shouts out to Julio, man. Falcons icon Julio Jones announces retirement after 13 seasons. Let's take a look at some of this. Hold up, where we at right here. Some of the stats, man. Julio Jones franchise records for the Atlanta Falcons: career receiving yards, single season receiving yards, career receptions, receiving yards in a game, receiving yards in a playoff game, receptions, single season, 100-yard receiving games, 100-yard receiving games in a season, seasons with 100 catches, and games with 250 plus receiving yards. That all Julio. Julio holds all of those records for the Atlanta Falcons, and Julio Jones has announced retirement, say 914 receptions, 13,703 receiving yards, 66 receiving TDs, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro. Right there, he's the fastest player to 10,000 receiving yards, the fastest player to 11,000 receiving yards, the fastest player to 12,000 receiving yards, and again, the fastest player to 13,000 receiving yards. Most seasons average 100 yards a game. Most games with 200-plus receiving yards. He's an absolute legend. I'm not going to pull up any video. I was going to pull up a little bit of video of Julio Jones, but some of that stuff does not belong to us. So I try to when I can. But, Julio Jones, man. Look, there's some studs that you've seen in the NFL, right? And I know there's all these things going around when my childhood is gone. And yes, Julio Jones is like the last remnants of that 2000s receiving corps, man. 2000s? You remember that stuff? Man, it was I can't find it now. That's my fault. I apologize for that. I wanted to bring that up, to be honest, with the it would have had all those receivers, man. It said because Jones says, I'm making this announcement today because of the city of Atlanta. He did it on the 4th, which is 404 day. Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all. It's nothing but love. I'm doing this on 404 day. It was a hell of a ride. This was for the city, man. I appreciate y'all. And let's see. What's this? Okay, yeah, that's let's see. Matt Ryan, him and Matt Ryan, best quarterback wide receiver combination in franchise history. Jones caught 9 of 14 passes. Yeah, he also played for Tampa Bay and Tennessee Titans. So yeah, man. Julio Jones, man, shout out. He will always be an Atlanta legend. I saw some of the stuff he did in that aforementioned Super Bowl where they almost, they had that massive lead. There was a catch Julio made in that game that I'm sure you guys have seen. I'm sure if you're a sports fan, football fan, you've probably seen that catch. It was incredible sideline catch. And that's what he did his entire career, man. So, for me to you, Julio, shouts out, man. I hope that you enjoy your retirement. I do think that in 5 years, we shall hear your name and rumblings of the gold jacket that you might be able to put on your body. And I think that I think statistically and just endurancely and from your career, just in general, I think that you are a Hall of Famer. So hopefully we see what the golf gods decide in 5 years when it comes time to see who's going to be on that ballot, and what would that be in 2030? And it could be Julio Jones, man. It could be, well, you know what? Wait a minute. Is it 5 years from the moment you retire or 5 years from the last game you played? I can't remember. But anyway, which if that's the case, then that means it may be 2029 when he goes in there. But we'll see. All right, so let's move on. Falcons. As we move through Falcons 2025 NFL draft picks, full list by round begins April 24th, which is, just coming up here in a few weeks. Is going to be in Green Bay. The Atlanta Falcons are scheduled to make 5 of the draft's 257 picks, beginning with the number 15 selection on first round. Obviously, they don't have a second round, or they don't have a third round pick when it comes to that because of trades and things of that nature. But 2025 Atlanta Falcons draft picks, round 1, they have number 15 overall. Round 2, pick number 46. Round 4, pick number 118. They don't have a 5th and 6th round pick. Round 7, pick number 218 from Cleveland through Los Angeles Chargers. And round 7, their last pick is number 242 from the Rams. Top 3 needs. edge rusher, defensive tackle, and corner, right? Defense. Like I said, we did lose. I think we still going to need some help along the offensive line because we did lose. Damn it, his name leaves me right now. The Bears picked up our center who was a stud. And so we're going to have to work on that too, right? Leonard Floyd, solid free agent addition, but we're going to need some more help in that because we lost Grady Jarrett. And, Morgan Fox, nice addition. But those are the needs, man. Those are the needs. And in case you're wondering, OTA minicamp dates for all 32 teams. The NFL has announced dates for off-season workout programs for the 2025 league year. Off-season programs are conducted in 3 phases. Phase 1 for meetings, strength and conditioning, and physical rehabilitation. Phase 2 for individual and group drills. And Phase 3 for organized team practice activity, commonly referred to as OTAs, right? Contact is not permitted in Phase 2 and 3, but teams are allowed to run 7-on-7, 9-on-7, and 11-on-11 drills during OTAs. Here are the dates for off-season workout programs. Let's just go. Falcons' first day is April 22nd, so here just in a couple weeks, right before the draft. OTA off-season workouts is May 27th through 28th, right? May 30th, June 2nd through the 3rd, and June 5th. Mandatory minicamp, June 10th through 11th, right? It's always intriguing to see who shows up for these. Hopefully everyone shows up for this voluntary stuff. You need be, right? I will always say this, and I'll say this till the day that I die. Aaron Rodgers not showing up for mini camps and voluntary stuff with the team before the season. You see that how the team looks when the season starts, kind of looks trashy, right? It'd probably look a lot better if the quarterback came in there and did some work with the new draft picks and things, right? That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? So let's see if that happens. Let's see other notable ones. Panthers start April 21st. Let's see. I'm trying to find the rest of the teams in our let's see. The Saints start on April 14th, and they starting real soon. And let's see, Tampa Bay Buccaneers start the 21st. So yeah, it's just in case you want to know. That's some of the teams in the NFL that reside in the NFC South is what I just went through. But there's a thing on ESPN if you want to find it that has all of the offseason OTA schedules for all of the teams. Let's see right there. And I think that's about it. Let's see any more news that's dropping the Falcons. Let's see. All right, so that's going to do it for NFL Falcons talk. We are going to take a quick break, and when we return, like I said, when we return, we're going to be jumping on some Braves, man. We're going to talk about the Braves, man. Finally got themselves in the dub column. Last week it was a little bit somber because we were 0-6 at the time, and then that night we went along to lose to the Dodgers. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. I shall return in just a minute. You guys been watching Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. We will return in just a second.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, are you in the market for Florida sports or just keeping up with the latest in the Panhandle? Palm Tree Sports is a dedicated audio hub to all things sports in the Sunshine State. We cover current events, big news, heavily favored opinions all across the NFL, NBA, MLB, and so much more. So come check us out every Saturday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a down south education on Florida sports and athletics. It's hosted by yours truly, Corey Pujols, and is powered by IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What is good, y'all? What is good? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. This is your boy ACS. Let's talk about some Braves. So when we last met, last week's episode, the Braves were the last team to win a game this season in majors, right? And I talked about it at nauseam last week about what we needed to do. And then they proceeded to go out playing the Dodgers and lose a game that they had 5-0, bruh. Then they let the Dodgers tie it back up. And then, of course, Ohtani with the walk-off home run at the end of the game. They beat us 6-5. Heartbreak. It was at that point in time where I thought it can't get any worse. And it sort of kind of didn't and did, right? Okay, so come Friday, we had the game against the Marlins. That's the one I was waiting for. If there was a game, obviously the Padres and the Dodgers are some really good teams, man. Not take nothing away from the Marlins. They're not as good as the Dodgers and the Padres, right? So we get the game against the Marlins, and what a game, dude. I don't think I sat down after like the third inning. The bats were hitting, the defense was hitting, and a 10-0 win against the Marlins on Friday was exactly what the Braves needed to sort of get the ship right. And then Saturday we lose 4-0 to the Marlins. Saturday we turn around and lose 4-0 to the Marlins. I watched that one too as well. It didn't even look like the same team, so to speak. But I mean, pitching, I think was good. Schwellenbach is looking like he about to be one of them aces, right? Then you're gonna have Strider, and then you got Sale too. I mean, we it could be popping up. And then yesterday, obviously, first game against the Phillies in this 3-game stand. They're live right now. The score is 0-0. I think they're going to the second inning. I think if I'm not mistaken, I just looked at it before during the break. I was sort of checking the score out, and I'll check it again before we wrap the show up, just in case you're not able to watch. I try to keep you as informed as possible. But yeah, man, the game was nice, man. And then yesterday, man, Sean Murphy finally back from injury. He injured his ribs in spring training and had to miss most of spring training. And that was sort of a thing where, didn't know when he was going to come back. Well, he came back, and he came back in a big way. He had a single sort of to put the Braves up 7-5, but he did hit a 3-1 shot and drove in 4 runs, during in his first at bat, right? Coming back, Sean Murphy homers. And so that was good to see. Braves add some bullpen depth with Astros Montero. Let's take a look at that. Braves acquired reliever Rafael Montero and cash for Astros for a player to be named later. 11-year veteran, has a 4.5 ERA in 3 games this season. It's pretty good. Sosa, you know what? That's what you get, Sosa. I'm sorry, I'm not too much of a trash talker at all, but Sosa caught this. He robbed somebody, Ozuna. He robbed Ozuna of a home run early in the game, and it was his first game playing left field. And he gets this incredible catch over the fence and proceeds to start talking all this trash about it. And then what happened? A couple plays later, him and O'Du just sat there and literally watched the ball drop to the ground. It was an error on them. Literally, both of them were standing right there, and the ball got hit way out there. And it should have been an easy out, but I think it was Olsen that hit the ball. The miscommunication or whatever the case may be. If you're gonna talk trash about catching balls, you better be on point for the rest of the game. That's all I got to say about that, because they straight let that ball just hit the ground. So, but he did have a nice catch. I ain't gonna take nothing away from the catch, but cool your drawers a little bit, bro. Let's see, Braves at bullpen. They're still hoping Lopez can return this season. So the Braves are 2-8. 5th in the National League East. Last game 7-5 went over the Phillies. What I just said. Finally got their first dub. And shouts out also April 8th. Cut this yesterday was what is normally looked upon in Georgia. And for Braves fan as hashtag 715 day. It was the day. I can't remember how many years ago. It's been a long time ago. Where Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's home run record. So we always sort of look back at that on April 8th. So there's that. And see some more stuff real quick, Braves, right? I have to mention again, ex Braves pitcher Dotel that passed in this nightclub tragedy. Let's see, Braves. Let's see right here. What we're looking at. Yeah, here we go. The Atlanta Braves have added their bullpen depth on Tuesday night by acquiring right-hander Rafael Montero from the Houston Astros, along with the $7.7 million that will cover just over 70% of his remaining salary. Atlanta will send the Astros player to be named. He has a 4.71 ERA in 11 seasons. Of his 324 career games, only 30 came as a starter, including none since 2017. They said he's been throwing the ball really well. Braves manager Brian Snitker said of the team scouts, he's a veteran. You kind of get a little excited when you get a guy like that. So we can throw a little bit better for the Braves. Some of this stuff is a little testy, but depending on where we decide to use him, it could be beneficial. Montero is owed $10,696,237 from his $11.5 million salary in the final season. He signed a big contract ahead of 2023 season, and Montero's ERA more than doubled that year to 5.08. He was designated for assignment. So, yeah, got the bag. He got the big bag, and it sort of his production sort of fell. So, let's see what happens with that. Let's go. Let's check this Braves. Let's see what's going on with these Phillies, man. Let's see. So, top of the second, 2 outs. Let's see who's pitching right now. Let's see. Strikes in the zone. Wait. Okay, so 3. Okay, I'm sorry. That's scary. I was like, what the hell? Let's see. We got Holmes on the plate right now. 1.2 in his pitch, 1 hit, 4 strikes. Okay. So he's playing good, playing pretty good thus far. 0-0 game against the Phillies again. Phillies are at the top of the East, I think. Let me go back here and check that out. I think the Phillies are at the top. Philadelphia, the Phillies are at the top of the East right now, 7-3. Mets in second place, 8-4. We're behind the Marlins, 2-8. 2-8 Braves. Let's go, Braves. Let's see if we can get back on the track, get back on the slide, man. 1-1 last night. Let's get another one. And with that, let's move, man. Let's move on over to Georgia baseball, right? Some Georgia baseball. Real quick, obviously Georgia's baseball team was so hot as of late, and that's kind of hard to keep substantiated. And with that being said, we got swept by Texas this past weekend, which was yikes. You know what I'm saying? See if I can get these games pulled up right quick as we move through this. What I'm looking at. All right. So yeah, Georgia. Let's see where they're at right here. Georgia baseball suffered its first SEC sweep of the season at Texas. It was a road game. Obviously hard to play on the road in the SEC period. And what as good as the Georgia's baseball team's been playing, it's not something I wanted to see, but something that was probably due to happen. I think they were playing fantastic ball, y'all. Like if you hadn't been paying attention or you just been hearing what I've been saying about in the past couple of weeks. The Bulldogs won't be spending too much time looking back, certainly not with the number 1 ranked Arkansas coming this Friday, coming to Foley Field for a 3-game series. So we got Arkansas at home. They're number 1. We need to try to win that series. If a sweep would be nice, but just a 2-1 win would be great just for a series victory. Outscoring Missouri 51-9 in a 3-game sweep in Fayetteville last week. In Georgia, dropped to number 6 in Baseball America, dropped to number 4 in Perfect Game, and the Bulldogs are now number 7, down from number 3 in D1 baseball rankings. So all of these, they just failed, straight dropping, bro. Straight dropping as a result of the losses to the number 2 ranked Longhorns. The Bulldogs lost 5-1 on Friday, 7-4 on Saturday, and dropped the 4-3 decision in extra innings on Sunday. Walk-off home run. So Yeah, man. It's a tough thing, man. The Bulldogs 30-5 right now. Sitting there, 857 win percentage, 8-4 in the SEC. Streak, they won one with a where's that at right now? Let's see, a 16-2 win over Presbyterian yesterday, which put them back in the win column, which is nice to get that nasty taste of that Texas sweep out of their mouths. And swept by Texas. Bulldogs play a 3-game home opener series against the number 1 Arkansas on Friday. And then obviously a game on Saturday and one on Sunday. We'll see how that ends up. But come on, we need this series, man. We need this series. And they be falling. The ranks be falling seriously when it comes to to baseball and college ranks or whatever. Georgia Tech, man. Georgia Tech making some moves, man, out here in baseball, man. Obviously they moved into the top. They moved into the top 20 last week, and then let's see where we at here. Oh, I don't move. I forgot to damn change the thing. My apologies. So Georgia Tech, as we look at this, where we at? Auburn narrowly edges out Tech in it, tight top 25. This is some old stuff here. Wait, when was this? April. Okay, yesterday. So they lost to Auburn yesterday. Georgia Tech did, but they had moved into, let's see, Georgia Tech baseball enters the top 15 last week. I don't know what's going to happen after that loss to Auburn yesterday. Let's see if I can pull up these. Where's these rankings at? Let's check D1 baseball rankings real quick and see where Georgia Tech is on these things right quick. Let's see. And Georgia Tech's at number 18 in this one in the D1 baseball rankings. I already told y'all where Georgia falls. Let's see, perfect game. Let's see where they fall in that one. Let's see. Georgia Tech's at number 15 in perfect game. Perfect game is weird. They don't really have like teams ranked differently. That's where I've seen Georgia ranked the highest this season was in perfect game. So Georgia Tech was 22 last week in perfect game. Now they moved up to 15. And again, that doesn't count for the games that were played yesterday. I'm sure they're going to move down a bit after losing to Auburn. And then on Baseball America, obviously, like I said, Georgia is at number 6, right? And then where they got Tech down here, 14, 15, Vanderbilt, 16, Oklahoma, UCLA, UC Irvine, Kansas. Georgia Tech is at number 20 in the Baseball America ranking. So 3 different rankings, 3 sort of wildly different positions, all within the top 15 to 20, but different spots there. So, so Georgia, man, they're gonna have to. They got to get there. They got to get back to these winning ways, bro, because it's not cool to see. Also, let's see, go back right here. Okay, I'm having a little bit of trouble with these sites. Not closing up fast enough. All right, so with that, let's move on, man. A little bit of college football news. As you know, at this time of year, it's kind of slow when it comes to college football. Georgia's spring game, the red versus black game, is this Saturday, as is the white and gold game for Georgia Tech. Their spring game is also this Saturday. Georgia, like I said, shouts out to Mike Bilbo. Not going to spend too much time there. I will get back to Tech, though. Just one thing, ESPN.com 2025 positional rankings. Georgia Tech is one of only 2 teams in the nation with a QB and a running back in the top 10. Haynes King is number 9, and the Jamal Haynes running back for Georgia Tech is number 9 as well. So that's cool, man. Georgia Tech, one of only 2 teams in the nation to have their starting quarterback and running back in the top 10 player in their respective position-wise in the country. So that's cool. So that's a little bit college basketball or college football. Like I said, there is not much there this time of year when it comes to that stuff right there. So let's jump to the Hawks, man. Like I said, man, the Hawks, man, let's see what is that. Oh, let's see, Hawks. Yeah, like I said, up and down stuff, man. The Hawks literally be like bouncing. We'll get to it. Let me get it pulled up. They destroy some teams, put up a lot of points, win some nice games. Beat Utah 147-134 last week, and they ended up losing. Then the next game to Orlando 119-112 they lost. So tomorrow night, next game is against the Brooklyn Nets. So one game losing streak, like I said, with the 119-112 loss to the Magic. They're 37-42, second in the Southeast. Pretty much in the play-in right now. Pretty much the Hawks are in the play-in tournament. Like they're not going to be in one of those top 6 slots in the East. by any stretch as we take a look at what the standings are right now. Let's see. Current standings, right? So you got the Pistons at 6. You got clinch playoff. You got the Orlando Magic at 7, 8. The Atlanta Hawks. Hawks not helping. They're probably going to be playing the Orlando Magic for that to get that spot. And then if they lose, they'll have that second chance. Again, I'll go over the rules again in a second. Western Conference playing standings. You got so many teams tied at 47 and 32 in the Western Conference. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't wait to see how that boils down. Obviously, when it comes to the NBA, the Western Conference has some pretty strong teams. Through games of April 8th. Obviously, saw last night Golden State won. The Lakers lost against the OKC. Western Conference. So right now, Detroit Pistons versus Milwaukee Bucks, the 11th. Atlanta Hawks versus Orlando Magic, April 13th at 1 o'clock p.m. That's, I think, the final game of the season, somewhere around that. And, a lot of games when it comes to the Western Conference, man. So here's a glance at how the 2025 play-in tournament would look if the season ended. The Eastern Conference, the Hawks would play the Magic. The number 10 Miami Heat will play the Chicago Bulls. The winner of 9 and 10 will play against the loser of 7 and 8. And so the winner between the Heat and the Bulls will play against the loser between the Hawks and the Magic. And to make the play-in, we're 100%. But as it goes to make the playoffs, the Hawks right now are at 50%, right? Last week, we were way up there, like 90% chance to make the playoffs. Now, because we just keep losing to teams that we need to beat, like the Magic, that percentage is dropping. So we'll see what happens. They're looking like the Magic is the favorite in the East to make the play-in, to get in there. So as far as that goes, the Western Conference, Minnesota Timberwolves and the Grizzlies will play, right, as it stands right now. And then the Dallas Mavericks and Kings will play. The winner of the Mavericks and Kings will play against the Timberwolves, the loser for the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies, which would put those two teams in, right? The Grizzlies have a 91% chance, 93% chance. There's so many teams. The Golden State Warriors are probably going to make the playoffs. Also, which is wild, too, in NBA news, the Nuggets fired their head coach who just won a national title like 2 seasons ago. Or not a national title, but a world championship in basketball. So that's crazy. We'll see what happens with that. With just a few games left in the regular season, they fire him. So let's see what happens with that. If the Nuggets rally around that happening to them. Mark that off right there. So next game is at the Nets. We need to win that game tomorrow. The Hawks need to win that game. And again, as it stands right now, we are in the play-in. I don't think we're going to do any better than that. Matter of fact, I don't think we can do any better than that. And so playing against the Magic, if it all went down to it, we'd be playing against them in the first game of the play-in. Matter of fact, I think we play the Magic. Let's check this out. Let's look at this. We play the Magic, I think, 3 more times. So as of right now, we be playing them in the play-in, and I think we play them twice more before the season. No, we play them 1 more time before the season's done. So come on, Hawks. We need to do it. We don't need to be worrying about playing against the winner of the 9-10 game. We just need to win the 7-8 game and going about our business, right? Just not even be messing around with that stuff. So let's get the Magic, the last game of the season, and then get them in the play-in game, right? Yeah, and because of the fact that the record-wise is the way it is, we would have to travel to Orlando for the play-in game, which is, not something that I am basically, but with that being said, basically the Hawks would need to win out, and we would need the Orlando Magic to lose out for the last few games of the season for us to try to sort of get a home court game against Orlando in the play-in. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, the Hawks 37-42, second in the Southeast Division, and we're vying for the play-in. Next game is against Brooklyn tomorrow at 7 at Brooklyn tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. And yes, got that out of there. Let's see. So there's that. And let's move on to some Georgia basketball news, some college basketball news. Obviously, Asia Newell, best player on the team for the Georgia Bulldogs basketball team. Just last week, I was saying that he had told Georgia Nation that he will be back next year, right? He was returning for his sophomore season at Georgia, and that is no longer the case. He has decided, and it's probably because we done lost like 4 players to transfer in the last week alone. So that Georgia's team is going to look way different the team that just made the NCAA tournament for the first time in 10 years, there is almost nothing. There's almost nothing there to build upon. Now we gotta have to start pretty much fresh, man. Okay, that's nothing. Hold on. Yeah, excuse me just a second. Excuse me just a second. I was saying something. Okay. Now I thought something. I seen something sports-wise pop up on my phone. I thought it might have been. It's not. It is not. So yeah, man. So the team is going to look vastly different than it did last season, and just because that's 4 players to transfer, and then now Newell, he was a freshman All-CC team, 4-time SEC Freshman of the Week, midseason Freshman All-American, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award candidate, 26 points in college debut, projected top 10 pick in the draft. So he declares for the NBA draft as a hometown hero and a certified dog. Wish he stayed one more year, help build a program, and go into the draft as a potential top 5 pick next season, which is probably the case. Yeah, so who knows, man? I thought we were going to have a cornerstone piece for next season when it comes to Georgia's college basketball, but that's just not the case, as you could see there. That's pretty much when it comes to Georgia basketball, sort of college basketball. That's pretty much it. Obviously, we'll just wait to see what the team can pick up, man, to see how we can compete. Again, the SEC in college basketball is strong. They are the teams are lengthy. Record for teams that were in the tournament this year. So, Georgia, it's going to have to do something. I don't think, next season, even if we can't make the tournament, it's going to be SEC players tough. We had a couple. We were the last team to beat Florida, who hoisted the national championship trophy just the other day, and so we'll see what comes along with that, man. Here, but that's let's see, get down without this stuff. Also, some more news real quick. Georgia Tech introduces Karen Blair as the next women's basketball head coach, right? Last week I talked about how their coach stepped down and retired after so many seasons. And so Karen Blair steps in. She pulled up in a jet, you know what I mean? So I guess she's ready to roll. So we'll see what happens with that when it comes to Georgia Tech sports. Georgia Tech's women's basketball team, new head coach, ready to get things going and get that program on the rise, right? Their women's basketball team was pretty decent last year, man. Made it to SEC tournament or ACC tournament. And talking about the Dream, I'm gonna have to get some things up for the Atlanta Dream, the women's basketball team. The season starts May 2nd. Let's get this up right here. Right here. Oh yeah, here's what I was talking about when it came to Georgia. Georgia basketball loses a 4th player to the transfer portal. Mike White's backcourt will look very different next season as another Georgia guard is into the transfer portal. Savo Dresgic became the latest Bulldog to do so. Silas Damari Jr., RJ Godfrey, and Deshane Montgomery also transferred. So, and then with Newell declaring for the draft, that's 5 players from that squad that, again, first time made the tournament in 10 years, and then everybody bounces, right? Which is crazy. Also, when it comes to the Atlanta Dream, preseason starts on May 7th against Washington, against the Mystics on May 7th, and then they have a game against the Indiana Fever on the May 10th preseason, and the home opener for Atlanta is against the Fever on May 20th. And so I will be talking Griner, hoping to make the most of the Dream deal. That's right. We got Griner on the team now. The team gonna look different than it did last season. And I'm excited, man, to see the Atlanta Dream this year, man. What they working with, man. Good. And also with this show gives me the opportunity to have another excuse to follow extra sports, right? To follow sports extra more than I already do, which is how I like to which makes it a lot funner for me. So anyway, as we get ready to wrap this thing up. So y'all, that's the show, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully let's check in one more time. Let's check up on the Braves real quick to see how they're faring right now against the Phillies in Atlanta. Let's see. Score is still 0-0, top of the third, 1 out for the Braves. And so yeah, here that goes. So yeah, I appreciate y'all, everybody who watches. I appreciate it. I do love talking about sports, and I'll be here next week, same time, same channel, all of those things. Hawks, man. By next week, we're going to be the playoff picture will be a lot more clear about play-ins and things of that nature. And so there's that. I'm ACS. You have been watching Georgia Sports Central on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. I'll holler at y'all next week, man. Peace out.